Hello everyone, I am so happy that you are here and welcome to lesson number 299 of A Course in Miracles. What is the real world? The real world is a symbol, like the rest of what perception offers. Yet it stands for what is opposite to what you made. Your world is seen through eyes of fear and brings the witnesses of terror to your mind. The real world cannot be perceived except through eyes forgiveness blesses. So they see a world where terror is impossible and witnesses to fear cannot be found. The real world holds a counterpart for each unhappy thought reflected in your world. A sure correction for the sights of fear and sounds of battle which your world contains. The real world shows a world seen differently, through quiet eyes and with a mind at peace. Nothing but rest is there. There are no cries of pain and sorrow heard, for nothing there remains outside forgiveness, and the sights are gentle. Only happy sights and sounds can reach the mind that has forgiven itself. What need has such a mind for thoughts of death, attack, and murder? What can it perceive surrounding it but safety, love, and joy? What is there it would choose to be condemned, and what is there that it would judge against? The world it sees arises from a mind at peace within itself. No danger lurks in anything it sees, for it is kind, and only kindness does it look upon. The real world is the symbol that the dream of sin and guilt is over, and God's Son no longer sleeps. His waking eyes perceive the sure reflection of his Father's love, the certain promise that he is redeemed. The real world signifies the end of time, for its perception makes time purposeless. The Holy Spirit has no need of time when it has served his purpose. Now he waits but that one instant more for God to take his final step, and time has disappeared, taking perception with it as it goes, and leaving but the truth to be itself. That instant is our goal, for it contains the memory of God. And as we look upon a world forgiven, it is He who calls to us and comes to take us home, reminding us of our identity, which our forgiveness has restored to us. Lesson 299. Eternal holiness abides in me. My holiness is far beyond my own ability to understand or know. Yet God, my Father, who created it, acknowledges my holiness as His. Our will, together, understands it, and our will, together, knows that it is so. Father, my holiness is not of me. It is not mine to be destroyed by sin. It is not mine to suffer from attack. Illusions can obscure it, but cannot put out its radiance nor dim its light. It stands forever perfect and untouched. In it are all things healed, for they remain as you created them. And I can know my holiness, for holiness itself created me, and I can know my source, because it is your will that you be known. Okay, that is lesson number 299 of A Course in Miracles. Eternal holiness abides in me. Yes, the Holy Spirit abides in me, because its unseen presence is the aliveness appearing as me and appearing as all things seen. The Holy Spirit being the timeless, self-sustaining intelligence, which, contrary to the illusion of the finite mind, which relies on its own intelligence to survive in the play, thinking and worrying about its mortality, its safety, its next meal, etc. The Holy Spirit needs nothing, nor does it need to do anything to be what is. Absolute. And that's because the Holy Spirit is not a character, a thing seen that needs to do things, learn things, know things, understand things, nor accumulate things to survive. The Holy Spirit is an absolute, boundless intelligence, that which remains beyond the disappearance of the body-mind, beyond the disappearance of I, and the wisdom behind I can of myself do nothing, meaning that as a separate individual mind I can do nothing, because that separate mind is illusory and has no source. All glory is due to God the Father, not because the boundless intelligence needs our praise, but as an acknowledgement of the eternal presence behind everything seen and unseen in the infinite universe. The eternal presence that has been forgotten, therefore appears to be absent and unreal. Yet what is absent and has no reality to whatsoever is the separate mind. There's no reality to the separate mind. There is an appearance of billions of bodies, yes, but the body-mind, the one that claims to exist, the one that claims to know, doesn't exist. There is nothing and nobody but what is. That's why there is no knower, nobody to be known, and no knowledge at all. That's why there is no body, because eternal nothingness is all there is, prior to the knower, and what remains after the disappearance of the knower. That's why the Holy Spirit doesn't know anything. Not because the Holy Spirit lacks intelligence. In the contrary, it is because the Holy Spirit is infinite intelligence itself. The present aliveness that animates all things seen in the infinite universe simultaneously, right now. And being both nothing and everything, he doesn't need to know. Being a self-sustaining intelligence, the Absolute doesn't need anything to be. It simply is. Yet the illusion of I obscures what is, by claiming ownership and usurping the intelligence of what is. That's why in this lesson it reads, Father, my holiness is not of me. It is not mine to be destroyed by sin. It is not mine to suffer from attack. Illusions can obscure it, but cannot put out its radiance nor dim its light. It stands forever perfect and untouched. In it are all things healed, for they remain as you created them. Yes, and in other words, there is no me, no body-mind, no real nor separate self that can suffer. Yet the illusion of I obscures the still and spacious presence of what is, with its distracting thoughts. Yet, similar to clouds passing by, can clouds ever dim or deny the eternal presence of the sky? No. In that same way, neither can your apparent separate thoughts nor your apparent separate mind ever dim nor deny the spacious, infinite intelligence that's present right now within your apparent mind. That's why the infinite intelligence stands forever perfect and untouched. And that's why in its presence are all things healed, because the unreal disappears within the real. Just as clouds dissipate in time, revealing the vastness of the endless sky. And it is the eternal I seek right now. And so it is my will to align to what is eternally present, a silent, endless space, always fresh, always new, uncluttered, unveiled, undimmed by thoughts of time. It is my will to consciously be present in order to notice the only presence that's ever present, that which precedes the illusion of time, and that which remains when I, mind, and time comes to an apparent end, to the end of perception, to the end of understanding, to the end of knowing, until there's nothing left but the unknowable.